Alright, so I'm back guys. It was a few months since my last video. Hope you guys are still sticking around, or perhaps I'll see you guys later through some other way, but I'm back. I'm getting back into Pokemon. I'm not sure what the meta is right now, and yeah, I also lost all my other teams because I had a fresh installation of Windows on my laptop, so I have to start all over again, which is fine. It's going to be a lot of fun to learn the meta again, and next few battles will probably be low ladder because I have to ladder up again. So let's take it slow, have some fun, and learn what we're doing. So the first one of my team members is Alakazam. Alakazam, the mega variety with Trace, Psychic, Focus Blast, Shadow Ball, Energy Ball. Please don't expect too many special stats or moves or something like that. I'm just having my basic ones and try to have some fun. Of course, this one Pokemon is really frail, so I'm gonna have to have something to protect it from ghost types and stuff like that. So I selected Bishop for that. It's called Sam. It's short for Samurai because I think he looks like one. Using black glasses to make sure his knockoff and Sucker Punch do a lot of damage, and Sword Dance if I get the chance. Iron Head's always nice to have, also if it's Stab. So the basic Bishop right there. I have Mr. Wiggle, Sumeru. It's surprisingly strong with Assault Vest, so it's quite bulky, but at the same time with huge power it still packs quite a punch. It uses Play Rough, Superpower, Aqua Jet for some priority, which is always nice to have, and Knockoff. I feel especially lower ladder Knockoff is very important to get rid of the items, and especially low ladder people don't anticipate it as much as you would think. Next up is Hot Stuff. My Infernape, it's not OU, I know it is not, but together with Expert Belt in its coverage, it's a really nice Pokemon to use. It has some stab, fighting, some stab, fire, and also some priority with Vacuum Wave. So there's a lot of things I like about this mon, and you will see it's a nice late game cleaner for this team. I have a bulky Garchomp with a Rocky Helmet, Rough Skin, Staff Rock, Earthquake, Dragon Tail, and Fire Blast. It's something to take hits if it needs to. It's quite defensive, but at the same time it's still useful. It has a little bit of speed in it for my Dragon Tail, which is useful, and yeah, it does a lot of work. Last but not least, it's probably my Defogger, and it's basically here to make sure I don't get too much Staff Rocks and stuff on my side of the field, so I can defog them away. It's using Leftover, it's real bulky, it has Healing Wish if I need it. I'm not really sure when to use it, I'm still learning that much, but it's a nice one to have. And that's my team for now. I'm gonna have some battles with it. We'll see. If you have any suggestions to change the team or during the battle, then feel free to leave a comment down below. It's greatly appreciated, and let's get into the battle. Alright, so this is the first battle I got with this team after being gone for a few months. I have to get back into the meta, as I said before. It's gonna be okay. Just gonna have some fun, see if we can learn something about the meta, but at the same time it's kind of annoying that my opponent is using a lot of non-OU mons, which doesn't help me that much learning the meta again. But I'm low ladder, I will get higher, it's okay. So looking at his team at this point, I see a lot of bulk on his team. I see Altaria, I see Wailord, I see Clefable, and I can also see Chestnut with a spiky shield, lefties, and something like Leech Sheet can be very hard to get rid of. I also see Delphox for a lot of damage, and perhaps Excadrill. I'm not sure if it's offensive or Rapid Spin. We'll see. We're just gonna get into the battle. For leads, I find it a bit hard because I do not know what he wants to do to my team. It looks like a stall team of some sorts, but I'm just gonna start off with my Garchomp, try to get my rocks up, which never hurts. And he leads off with Wailord. I figured I could take at least a hit from this Wailord, and I love to have some rocks on the field to make it a lot easier late game to sweep with Alakazam or something like that. So he goes for Blizzard, does a lot of damage, a lot more than I thought, so I switch out here. I'm still happy with the trade though. I can bring in my Azumarill, Mr. Wiggle, And do not get burnt on the skull here, which is very nice. Would have been bad if he scalded me, but luckily he doesn't. He goes for an Iron Head, which I can take, and I want to knock off. I want to make sure that this Warlord doesn't get its recovery in the form of leftovers, and he has to switch out, or at least in his mind he has. And I'm just staying in, just want to do damage, so I went for Play Rough, which of course I miss. I'm not really lucky with the Play Roughs in this game, but I have to look at the chance of hitting and missing. Perhaps I should switch it out for something else, I'm not really sure. I switch in my guard jump as fodder, but he doesn't go for a move, he goes for a spiky shield, which is nice. I can get a free fire blast off, and what's even better is that he has to attack with a physical attack, meaning he takes both rocky helmet damage and rough skin damage, which is a lot more than I anticipated. So right now, looking at the amount of damage I did to him, to one of his Pokemons, and what I had to sacrifice for it, I think it's a good trade. I really like this mon being this low. I can bring in my Infernip at this point. He will take care of this mon no matter what, even if he stalls out a turn. I kind of predicted him to switch out into Warlord. Let me explain why I went for Grass Knot, and yeah, that was a misplay. I think so. It would have been nice to surprise him with the move, but can't always guess right. So he went for Spiky Shield, stall out a turn, not sure why, because he doesn't have any lefties, but I guess he did some damage with it, which is nice for him. And at this point I thought he would stay in, sack off his mon, but he's gonna switch out into his Altaria, which means I get some free damage off in the form of Fire Blast. That's resisted, but it still does a nice amount of damage. And I have to switch out to, I want to preserve this mon. It's fast, it hits hard, it's really nice late game. I switch in my Bishop, which in my opinion was a very good switch in. I could take a hit, and I predict him to switch out at this point because Iron Head will do a lot of damage, but I guess he doesn't see it that way. He stays in, he gets a nice flamethrower off, which does quite a lot of damage. And I can go for Iron Head the next turn, make sure I KO this mon. So I took some free damage here. Well done by my opponent. He switches in an Excadrill, and I want to preserve my Samurai. And it's nice to have Sucker Punch late game. It's really nice, especially if there are some mons really low. And I preserve him. I switch in Azumarill, which would be the best thing to take, ground type attack or something like that. But he does a lot of damage nevertheless. He switches in his Clefable, and here I feel that he was a bit reckless with it. He knows that my Azumarill has knockoff. I know he has leftovers, and I want to get rid of it. So he can get his screens up, yes, sure, but at the same time he loses his recovery, especially on mons like Clefable late game. It's really nice to have it. So yeah, if you went for an attack first, take care of my Azumarill and then set up the Reflect and Light Screen would be better, but teach their own, it's his choice. I try to get some damage off, I play rough, I miss again unfortunately, and he takes out my Azumarill. I switch in this mon. I thought I would take him out in Iron Head at this point, but I guess I was wrong. I guess the screen saved him. I didn't think of it. But yeah, it saved me. Switch out turn after because I was faster, and I get a lucky flinch there. I'm not sure if it would have saved him at this point, but it made things a lot easier for me. So I'm happy that happened. Even though it was some hacks, it's okay. I switch in my F16, which is basically useless at this point. I just want to get some damage off. This is one of his last mons, which has a lot of HP. And this one and the Fox, and I just want to have damage on this thing. So I go for Side Shock the first time, and I decided to switch over to Draco Meteor in the hope that it would do some more, but of course I miss it. And this is going to go over and over again a few turns. It's a bit slow, but I decided I would love to switch out this mon for some damage. And yeah, we're just gonna see. I do hit one Draco Meteor and then he takes care of me. Really nice trade for all damage. Look at the Excadrill being at 25%. I'll take it any day. I can switch in my Infernape and things will be okay. Vacuum Wave will take him out. I already showed my Grass Knot, but for some reason my opponent forgot about it, I feel. Because this is one heavy Pokemon that's super effective. I got the Expert Belt. This mon is going down no matter what. He switches in Delphox. I feel I stay in here. Just try to get a safe switch into my Bisharp at this point. So I take the hit. I don't mind. I don't need this mon for anything else. I can stay in and go into my Bisharp, take care of this mon with Sucker Punch, which is very safe. There's nothing he can do about it. He doesn't get that much setup fodder. And at this point there's one thing that could possibly save him from my Sucker Punches, and that would be something like Leftovers. I mean Leech Seed, of course, which is not an attack move, so my Sucker Punch would not trigger and do not do damage. And at the same time, looking at his team was left, Alakazam will clean up, so I have no worries here. I can go for Sucker Punch. He goes for Spiky Shield. I don't get damage because it's not an offensive move, so my Sucker Punch doesn't trigger. And I'm just gonna keep clicking it. The second time he still gets the Spiky Shield 2 times in a row, which means the third time he will not get it, or is very unlikely to get it, so I can switch to Iron Head to speed up the battle a little bit. He is still attempting to get a third one, which is fine. And then his last mon is slower than my mon, and I can take a free kill to finish the game. So this was the first battle after a few months. It was good to be back. It was fun to have a match. I said GG to my opponent, but he kinda just left here. He's also a very low ladder, so I know the quality of this battle is not up to par. I know I have to learn a lot. I know my team is probably still not really good at this point, but I'm just trying to get back into the game, play a few games, try to have some fun, see if I can get the feeling back. For as much as I had it, I wasn't that good, let's be honest here, but yeah, it was fun. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I sure did, and I'm looking forward to the next video. I'm not sure when it's gonna be on, so keep your eyes on my channel, and we'll see. Have a good day, guys. Have fun, and see you all later. Bye bye.